What's up, guys? Thanks so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and baby, let's get into the drama of it all because we got a few things to talk about. So let's get into it. All right, y'all. So first up, let's talk about Traitors. So on last Friday, it was announced that Traitors will be premiering its third season on January the 9th. They also gave us the cast lineup. So we have Danielle from Big Brother, Brittany from Big Brother, Caroline from Survivor, Chanel Ayan from Real Housewives of Dubai, Gabby from Bachelor Nation, Dolores from Real Housewives of New Jersey, Robin from Real Housewives of Potomac, Dorinda from Real Housewives of New York, Chriselle from Selling Sunset, Sierra from the original Summer House, Nikki Bella from WWE, Bob the Drag Queen from RuPaul's Drag Race, Jeremy from Survivor, Tony from Survivor, Rob from Survivor, Dylan, who is Zac Efron's brother, Ivar, who is British royalty, Wells, who is from Bachelor Nation, Bob from The Biggest Loser, Sam, who is Britney Spears' ex-husband, and then Tom Sandoval from Vanderpump's Rules. So, I just have one critique. I feel as though there should always be two people, at least at minimum two people from the same franchise on the show. Like there should be another WWE like superstar wrestler that's on here with Nikki Bella, just as I think that there should be another drag race contestant that should be on here with Bob the drag queen. Like who honestly cares about Dylan, who is Zac Efron's brother, and Sam, who is Britney Spears' ex? Like, no. But I am excited to see, like, my two people that I'm going for is Dorinda from Real Housewives of New York and Bob the Drag Queen. I kind of want to root for Robin, but I need to see how Robin plays before I, champion her. But this looks like a pretty decent lineup, and it looks like this cast might be interesting in the sense of how they play games because I don't think I've ever seen any of these people in a game show because I don't watch Survivor and I don't watch Big Brother, but we do know if you watch the last season of Traitors that using the same tactics on like Big Brother and Survivor normally doesn't go well in your favor because people can weed it out. But I am interested in this season. So let me know who you're interested in on this cast if you plan to watch Traitors when it comes out next year. So next, let's talk about Mr. Andy Cohen. So last Friday, Andy was doing, I guess, like an interview with Dateline. And if I can find the article, I'll definitely link it in the description box below. But I'm just going to read the cliff notes that Jay's reality blog posted. So they said this: at Andy Cohen talks the current status of Housewives via Dateline. Hashtag RHO Dubai. A pause is a pause is a pause. But says he loves Dubai and what they built there. That makes me know we not getting Dubai back anytime soon. It'll probably be like 5 years before Dubai comes back. Because what you mean a pause is a pause is a pause. Girl, bye, Andy. So then for hashtag RHONJ, it says they're taking their time and in no rush. So I feel like New Jersey is going to be on pause just as long as Atlanta. Especially, I feel like Atlanta will be a precursor of what they might do going forward with New Jersey. So if Atlanta has a good season after being on pause for some time, then they'll probably do the same thing by like revamping the cast. So then for Atlanta, he says this. He's 7 episodes in and calls it outstanding and will air early 2025. So that's a good thing. I don't know if Andy is overselling it, but we'll see. And then for Miami, he said absolutely blown away by season 7 or by the 7th season. Y'all, we got a Miami section in this video. And when I tell you things have been shaken up, Miami might be good and messy and chaotic in the best way possible. So then he talked about Orange County. He says season 18 was one of the most popular seasons they ever had. I will say season 18 was stellar. It was one of their best seasons. I enjoyed it all the way through. Then lastly is New York. He said, interesting personal stories / group dynamic is a bit of a challenge this season, but they're a cohesive group who hangs out a lot. He believes in the group and is looking forward to the future with them. Plus, he was a champion of the old RHONY and still loves them. Here's my thing. Their personal stories on New York are better than the group dynamic, and that's what's truly missing. Is you can have good personal stories, but people watch Housewives to see how the ladies interact together, and because the women are so like self-produced, it comes off inauthentic and fake, and people aren't into that anymore. So they're definitely going to need to sit the ladies down and tell them, like, either you're going to be honest and stop all this fakery, or get off this show so we can add new housewives that really want to like showcase their lifestyle in their lives and are okay with the public scrutiny. So next, let's talk about Monique Samuels. So this was heavily talked about like about a week ago when Monique did an interview with a YouTuber about her experience with Love and Marriage DC. And she basically said that she was treated worse on Love and Marriage DC than what she was treated on RHOP. So I have the clip for you guys. So let me play that for you and then we'll discuss.
I had to kill my ego. I had to care even less about what people thought about me because only I knew what was really going on, you know, behind the scenes. And it was a huge test of just like, all right, let's see how much you've grown.
How did that show come about?
So when I left Housewives, there was one of the producers that used to be a part of Housewives franchise who started his own. He approached me with support and came at me with some like, you know, we black and, you know, these white shows, they don't show black people in the light that they should be shown in. And, you know, it can be natural drama. It doesn't have to be this scripted drama. And it created a relationship of like, all right, let's see what we can do together. Let's work together. So I believed him when he used the black card. And he did me worse than the white folks. I was like, he could have waited to the second season to trash me.
So you think Love and Marriage DC did you worse than Real Housewives of Potomac?
Yeah.
Damn.
It was worse. It was like, there was no context. There was no reason to all of the fussing and fighting. It was like, it's Love and Marriage. So show the full outlook of what a Love and Marriage, like show what all of it looks like, right? I have always been very open on camera. Like, I like to be as transparent as possible. But if my spouse is not also that way, then if you're not saying anything, they're only going to be showing what I'm saying. So it's very unbalanced. And then it was just like, we got her, dog her ass out. Like, it was like my name was used to gain the audience. And I mean, I felt like I got trashed on that show. They didn't show any of my real moments. They didn't show the moments where I gave more context to what was happening. It was just like me, like, but I was the one reacting. It was me reacting, but show why I was reacting like that, you know? And it was very unorganized, on camera, off camera. It was a mess. And I left after the first season.
Monique is full of it. And this little clip let me know she's still full of it. In what world has Monique ever been transparent? If you think about it, she came on Real Housewives of Potomac during season 2, and then she left after season 5. So that's 4 seasons. What do you remember about Monique other than her assaulting Candace? You remember that she is Chris's wife at the time. Chris's mom didn't like her. Unfortunately, she had a miscarriage and had a rainbow baby, and she started Not for Lazy Moms. Other than that, we didn't learn anything personal about Monique until she assaulted Candace, and she had to sit down with her pastor, and she was crying when the pastor basically checked her and said that you are upset that these women are not impressed with the presentation that you show forth. And that to me told me everything I needed to know about Monique. And what ultimately I feel as though it happened is that Monique was riding such a high from season 5, from everybody singing her praises and telling her she was right to assault Candace and she did the right thing and all of that stuff, that when she got to Love and Marriage DC, she thought she was going to get the Melody Cherie treatment. I don't watch Love and Marriage Huntsville anymore. I watched like the first 2 seasons and I tapped out. But I know from other reviewers that still review the show that the millimeters don't play about Melody, and she technically is like the HBIC on that show. And I think Monique wanted the same treatment, that the fact that it didn't happen for her and that people were so harsh in critiquing her that she couldn't handle it. Because ultimately, the only reason why people really liked Monique is because she was in an adversarial role against Giselle and Robin, and she assaulted Candace, who at the time a lot of people didn't like. So they were like, it was okay that she put hands on her. But to be honest, when she got out of that group and into a new group, you saw how fake Monique was. And the truth of the matter is, Monique was trying to be the glue that kept the group together, but also the head girl in charge, as well as being the bone collector and the pot stirrer. And it was like she couldn't pick a lane, and when people were calling her out about it, she couldn't handle it. Now, am I saying Carlos King isn't messy? No, because we've heard plenty of stories about how messy and unorganized his production is and how he can do the most and things of that nature. And we've seen him do that. But to say that he used the black card to get Monique to be on the show is hilarious to me when the OWN network is a black network. And to me, there is no way that someone can get you to do anything, no amount of like, do it for the culture, do it for black love, if you truly did not want to be on reality TV or take part in the show. Like, there is no show on OWN that doesn't cater to a black audience. So he didn't even need to tell you it's for black people. Like, if you think about all the shows, Greenleaf, love that show. Wish it had more season. Then you had Queen Sugar, produced and I think it was produced and directed by Ava DuVernay. Then you have that dating show Ready to Love, Iyanla Fix My Life, Bell Collective, all the different versions of Love and Marriage. You got Huntsville, Detroit, and DC. So to me, there was no need for him to be like, do it for the culture, do it for the black people, or use the black card, because it's a black network. Again, I say Monique is full of it. So let's talk about Real Housewives of Miami. When I tell you I am so excited for Miami to come back, and all the shenanigans that was coming out of Bravo Fan Fest got me excited. Got me too excited. So first up, let's talk about Kiki. So Kiki was on a panel with Portia, Mia Thornton, Lisa Barlow, and they were asking about people like who should be unfiltered, and Kiki said Adriana, and I said okay, not Adriana needs to be more unfiltered, because I feel like we got enough of Adriana. So I said, okay, that kind of had my like antenna up. I said, okay, that was an interesting response. And then I saw a clip, which I'm gonna play for you guys, where Larsa was asked like, who is a villain, who would be on Traitors, or who is the villain in the group or something like that. And she said Kiki. I said, not them fighting. So let me play that clip.
Who else from your cast do you think deserves title of traitor or villain?
Maybe Kiki.
Hey, I'll be right next to her, so we both are traitors.
So I said, girl, what is that about? What is that about? Okay. And Kiki even did another panel where they asked her like what to expect for season 7, and she said it's about to be a spectacular season with a lot of like dynamics changing. And Gertie said the same thing. So she was asked by I guess one of the blog pages down there, like, who is the messiest this season? And she said, girl, it starts with a J. So let me play that for you.
The messiest right now.
Starts with a J.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay, can you tease what's going on?
Well, there's a lot going on, obviously, and the dynamics change. And I think that you'll just see that, you know, the evolution of new friendships may cause some damage to old friendships. And that's pretty much what's going, you know, what could be going on. And it's just a dynamic shift that's very surprising and shocking, and it ruffles a lot of facts.
So I knew something was up when all that information came out about allegedly Julia threw a drink at Gertie. When Gertie made that post about, what drink throwing can be classified as, like assault or something like that. And then when I saw that video that Larsa posted about her going to Spain, the cash trip with Adriana and Julia, I said, oh, this is about to be a chaotic season because the pigs are flying, because I never thought Julia, Larsa, and Adriana would get along like this. And so for Gertie to say that some new friendship damages other friendships or it ruffles feathers, I can totally see Gertie being annoyed and upset that Julia is now cool with Larsa. Or if Larsa starts treating people differently because she's friends with those two, and that might cause the shift in her relationship with Kiki. All I know is I'm ready for the season. So the last thing I want to talk about is Lisa. So it's crazy that the last time I talked about Lisa, we were talking about her possibly not wanting to sign the divorce papers. Well, baby, she is officially divorced. So this was posted on November the 23rd. And it says this: Real Housewives of Miami star Lisa Hochstein finalizes divorce from ex Lenny 2 years after his initial filing. It says the former couple confirmed their split in May of 2022. Around the same time, Lenny Hochstein filed for divorce from the Real Housewives of Miami star. It says it's officially over between Lenny Hochstein and his Lisa Hochstein and her ex, Lenny Hochstein. It says the former couple divorce has been finalized after 13 years of marriage, people can confirm. According to court documents, a judge signed off on the case on November the 15th, declaring the pair legally single. Lenny is ordered to pay Lisa $15,000 a month in child support for their 2 kids, son Logan, 8 years old, and daughter Ellie, 3 years old, and $10,000 per month for Ellie once Logan turns 18. Lenny and Lisa were also ordered to follow a marital settlement agreement from 2023 and a parenting plan they created on November the 4th, 2024. This news first announced by Lisa's Real Housewives of Miami co-star Adriana de Manura. Is it Manura? Y'all know me and last names. At the 2024 Bravo Fan Fest on November the 23rd during the Bravo's Besties panel. So good for Lisa, because girl, I really didn't want to hear about this man. I just couldn't do it, Lisa. I just couldn't. But getting $15,000 a month, I did the math. That's $180,000 a year. And then it goes down to $150,000 a year once Logan turns 18. She made out way better than Ashley Darby. I can tell you that most. I mean, and if Lisa stays on Real Housewives of Miami as well as she's serious about that perfume line, then she'll be fine. And I'm just happy because I don't want to hear about Lenny no more. I know we'll probably hear about him for season 7, but if she's on for season 8, girl, I don't want you to utter that man's name. Treat him like Voldemort, he who shall not be named. So get your snacks, because the RHOA section is the longest. I screenshotted a bunch of stuff and I'm sifting through them as we speak. So first up is an update between Britt, Edie, and Kenya and their whole situation. So on November 5th, when Tamara Hall posted her clip about Kenya and how Kenya was taking accountability for the part that she played in the whole situation that went down between her and Britt Edie, she contacted the Neighborhood Talk. So Kenya was upset with the clip that they reposted on the page. And it states this: it says, Kenya Moore takes accountability for escalating her situation with RHOA newbie Britt Edie months after she was halted from filming due to revenge PRN allegations. I'm sorry for what I've done. I didn't have to take it that far. So Kenya was in the comments and she said this, conveniently leaving out where I said the RP allegations were a lie. Thanks. And then the Neighborhood Talk responded to Kenya by saying, this is a clip Tamara Hall posted on her Twitter account, Kenya. So did they conveniently leave it out too? So then the owner of the Neighborhood Talk, Kyle, posted a DM that he got from Kenya where she said this: you always post BS making me look bad. You also out here pictured You also out here pictured in every slide. Your caption could have said, I clarified I was never accused of RP. I apologize for posting a picture I found online. So then Kyle responded by saying, Kenya, for this to be about accountability, you aren't taking any of it right now. The swipes you saw are all of our previous coverage regarding this incident. Like we do for every news post we cover extensively. The second swipe was literally you saying it was a lie. It was something she accused you of. You denied it. It's all been posted. You're mad at the wrong people. You put yourself in whatever situation you are in. So the energy you're giving needs to be redirected. God bless. So for one, I'll say this is unprofessional for Kyle to be showcasing these DMs. Cause I'm like, you posted this thinking it was a flex. And in some regards, it kind of was, but it also says a lot about you, Kyle. Also, Kenya, he wasn't wrong. You put yourself in this situation and now you have to sift through the negative comments and the negative emotions that you feel that you let somebody like Britt Edie play you off your square like this. Being mad at Kyle and blogs that post this information is they didn't do anything wrong. Like if that actually is the clip that Tamron Hall posted, then they just reposted. So you should be mad at Tamra and her marketing team. So Britt also responded on the 15th to all the information that was coming out. And this is coming from the RHOA Talk. It says, Britt with a message following Kenya's recent interview with Tamra Hall. So she said, the best part of being authentic, there is no image to maintain. We are all the villain in someone's story. Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to try my best to be open-minded about Britt Edie, but from the interviews that I've seen of her, she doesn't seem like she's very likable. She also seems like a fraud, because that interview that she did with her husband and them other two co-hosts, it didn't paint the best picture of her. So I don't know. Are you being authentic? We'll have to see when the new season premieres. So next, let's talk about Portia soft launching her possibly or more than likely getting back with Dennis. So on November the 20th, it was posted by the RHOA Talk that Dennis and Portia refollowed each other. So it says this. It says, Portia has finally unblocked and followed Dennis on IG after 2 years. So they posted an IG video where Portia is dapping up Dennis saying, unblocked after 2 years of detainment. He went through 8K people to find his name and unblocked himself. Co-parent progress report. Portia trying to soft launch Dennis and her relationship, because why? Then the next thing I saw while I was scrolling after seeing this was Queens of Bravo posted that Portia and Dennis were filming confessionals together. And then I saw a video from Bravo's Shade Room of them in the confessional together in the same color. I said, y'all getting back together. And to me, Portia always wanted to be with Dennis. Like, that's why she was trying to rub Simon in Dennis's face, because she felt some type of way about them breaking up. You know, he cheated on her while she was pregnant, because when she went off on him and tried to fight him and his mom while they were in Mexico when they were filming Portia's Family Matters, she was like, tell him to take his mother and his sluts and leave. Girl, if you did not have any like feeling towards that man, you wouldn't have had that violent reaction, and you wouldn't have cared that he had another girl in Mexico. You was there with your man. Why couldn't he be there with his girl or one of the girls he likes? So I said, okay. So I guess Simon was getting annoyed with all the positive press that Portia was getting from people being happy that her and Dennis are co-parenting and possibly back together, that he decided to take himself to TMZ and let them know that he's suing Portia for defamation. So this was posted by Jay's reality blog, where it says, TMZ reports Simon Guobadia has sued Portia Williams for defamation over social media posts she made about him having erectile dysfunction, #RHOA. And I'm not going to read the article. If I find the article, I'll definitely put the link in the description box below. But pretty much Simon is saying that because Portia made that post when they were having that back and forth about erectile dysfunction, even though she did not add him in it, it basically made him look weak to his business partners, and it has slowed down his business. I said, Simon, you running out of straws to grab, sir. And the sad thing and the funny thing about it is a lot of people forgot about the erectile dysfunction post. Even I forgot about it until they brought it up. And a lot of people were like, if he would have never brought it up, I would have never remembered that she posted that. And then another person was like, well, is it really defamation if it turns out to be true because she was his wife? And I'm just like, well, she didn't at him. So she could always say like, hey, I was just putting out information out there for people. But he is adamant that it's ruined his business and it's defamation. Simon, we don't care. We do not care. So continuing with Portia and Simon. So Portia was down at Bravo's Fan Fest, and I think there was like an Atlanta panel, or maybe it was just a panel with Andy because he was the one that was answering questions. I don't know if they showed the clip, but pretty much there was like a 6-minute clip that was posted and shown down at Bravo's Fan Fest. And it was like the first 6 minutes of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And the whole entire clip was Portia. It was her going to the same lawyer that she used with Cordell. And in that, she talked about how she ultimately decided to get a divorce so she could protect her assets, so she could keep her home, as well as she said something about like the finances, pretty much saying that like Simon wasn't really like forthcoming about his finances. And so Simon didn't take too kindly to that. But before I read Simon's statement, what I do like about the confessionals that I'm seeing is their full body. I like that. Like, Portia is sitting in this really nice black and white outfit. She has a black and silver outfit, but I like the full body outfits because I feel like it forces the ladies to actually put more thought into their outfits. You know, it's just not a cute top. It's a full outfit. So I love that. So this is what Simon had to say. It says, concerned about my finances, please waive the Fulton County court order that grants you temporary stay in my home, purchased with 100% of my earnings and titled 100% in my name before marriage. The order requires that I continue to pay the mortgage, homeowner's insurance, utilities, lawn care for everyone but my own kids, whose assets needed protecting again. So Simon wasn't done there because the Bravo Shade Room caught him in the comments, and it says Simon Guobadia responds to the clip of Portia saying that their house is about to be foreclosed on. And he said this: I would never fight to live in a house about to be foreclosed on with my clan, especially one I have no equitable interest in. Make the narrative make sense. So here's the thing. On one hand, Simon does make points. He makes valid points. But on the other hand, I don't care. All this shows me is that when season 16 airs, Simon is going to be insufferable. I mean, he gonna have post after post after post. Yo, he might even go live, because if a 6-minute clip of Portia talking to her lawyer got him already making these types of posts, just think about him watching like 45-minute episodes and they talk about Portia and her situation, or she starts crying about it. He gonna be on this internet flaming her up. It's gonna be annoying. It's gonna be so annoying. So let's move over to Bravo Fan Fest. So Portia was on a panel with Toya from Married to Medicine, Kiki, and Lisa Barlow, and they were all asked the same question: who on your cast do you think needs to be unfiltered? And Portia said Drew. So let me play that clip for you guys.
To me, unfiltered is like living in your truth, who you are, you know, your authentic self, where you show up everywhere you go. I would say Drew Sidora. And I would love that for her, just because I think it's easier, because you can remember what you say. Sometimes if you say something and it's filtered with something else, you can't remember it.
Filtered with what, Portia?
You know, lies.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
For me, if you have a peach, everybody is the main character. And when you are not honest or just really letting the cameras in, meanwhile, I'm over here split wide open, wig off, everything. It's like, damn, give me some of her check. You know what I mean? If she's not going to do her job. I appreciate that. Give me some of your check. Give me some of your check.
So here's the thing. I don't know if it sits right with me with Portia calling somebody out about being transparent when we know Portia be lying too. Drew's a liar. Portia's a liar. Girl, you went into that lady's house. was probably already messing with her husband and then rode off into the sunset with him, only to get a divorce and it be the longest divorce. And then after watching Portia Family Matters, girl, you are definitely fake and phony and will not be transparent in order to get what you want, because the network has propped you up as one of their darlings. So let's not do this. So then Drew found out about this clip and she clapped back at Portia saying, "Hello, Pot. I'm Kettle. Didn't you leave on a lie and return to create lies because someone couldn't talk about someone?" And Drew's not wrong. Portia can't talk about Simon, so I could definitely see her like stirring the pot or causing drama. But yeah, girl, you both be lying. That's just what it is. Drew also took to her Instagram and she reposted a statement from a Kenya Moore fan page that said, "F you, Michael Rappaport, disrespecting Queen Drew Sidora by liking a comment Portia made that was disrespectful towards Drew. You are a coward." All I'm gonna say is I don't think it's wrong for you to like comments, especially if you agree, but I don't like Michael Rappaport. I think he is a scab of a human. So F him. I agree. Just wanted to say it. So before I continue with the Fan Fest, there was a post made by Reality Rundown that Portia did with Dateline. She was questioned about Kenya and she said this: "I'm still in contact with Kenya and I'm still hopeful that she can work it out with the cast and with the network and find a way forward. I was really excited for the audience to see our growth because out of everything, it was very genuine." She tells Dateline, "It was very much big sister, little sister energy that anybody would be able to relate to. I definitely hated that it didn't work out, but sometimes you have to pay for some of your mistakes and come around on the end." So it seems like Portia is definitely hopeful that Kenya will be back. And we end up finding out from Andy that Kenya will be featured in the show. Shouts out to C. Diggy. He is a YouTuber and he actually asked Andy about if Kenya will be featured in the show. And this is what Andy had to say. So this is coming from the RHOA Talk. It said, "Andy confirms at Bravo Fan Fest that Kenya will definitely be a part of Real Housewives of Atlanta season 16. He says you will see Kenya on this new season of Real Housewives. Andy confirms that her scandal is a part of what happened on the season and we will see it play out. Hashtag Bravo Fan Fest." So that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. So Portia was asked a question by a fan that wanted to know how she was dealing with Kenya not being a part of the show. So let me play that clip because Kenya responded.
You know what? It was very disappointing. The whole situation was super disappointing. It was weird because like I had one opinion when it happened and another opinion by the time I did my confessional. But overall, I just felt like it was opinion by the time I did my confessional. But overall, I just felt like it could have been a little more communication, but between everybody. We were having such a good time. You know what I'm saying? Like we were getting to know each other in a totally different dynamic than you all have ever seen. And I think it's so unfortunate that she wasn't able to finish the rest of the season. But when she left, we had to continue on. And, I got to know Britt a little bit more. And Britt is amazing new cast member on the show. She is fiery. She's all that. Kenya's gonna be mad. A little baby Kenya. Like I'm just saying, like the fabulousness, the fierceness, like say what you want up front, like let's deal with it. I don't know. She's just got that energy already. So, but no, I would have to say I hated to finish the season without her. But then they brought in Phaedra. Yeah. And so I was happy about that. Yeah.
So Portia was right that Kenya was going to be mad because Kenya posted it in her Insta story. Naomi Campbell, and I can't remember the other model that she was arguing with when they had that competition show. And it was basically like model teams versus each other. And Naomi was like, "Don't compare yourself to me. You'll never be on my level," and something like that. So let me play that clip. I'm going to play the audio because I don't know if they'll flag my video for copyright, but you got to hear it.
They would never
to me.
They would
ever.
never make
you are not on my level, Nicole. You never will be on my level. Don't.
So Kenya basically said, "Put some respect on my name." And I would have to agree. Why are you comparing a newbie to her? Like, where they do that at? Like, no, ma'am. No. So the last thing I want to talk about before we get up on out of here is Kelly. So at FanFest, Portia was also talking about the newbies. So this was posted. It says, newbie Kelly with a message after Portia called her a little elf during an interview at Bravo's FanFest. Hashtag RHOA. And it says, I'm not coming off the top shelf just because you can't reach it. And she has XXO, your favorite elf on the shelf, hashtag top elf, hashtag RHOA, hashtag shady elf, hashtag cooking with Kelly, hashtag sweet 16. So it looks like the feud between Kelly and Portia is still going. I wonder if this feud will cause Kelly and Drew to be closer. Because the last time I talked about Kelly and Britt Edie, they had unfollowed each other and they were throwing subs. So if Portia is shading Kelly and she was bigging up Brittany, I could see that them being close partially pushed Kelly and Britt apart. So I was just wondering if it would push Drew and Britt together, because Shamia and Drew got issues and so does Portia. And I'm also kind of trying to think, like, who else is Kelly cool with on the cast? I mean, we'll see, but hey. Now, I was going to end with Real Housewives of Atlanta, but then I went through my phone and I remembered I had took screenshots of some SLC things I wanted to talk about. Instead of waiting until, the episode to put it in a spicy corner, I said I might as well put it at the end of this video. So, Andy Cohen was asked about Jen Shah returning when he spoke to Dateline, and this is what he said. It says, Andy Cohen tells Dateline a Jen Shah return seems off the table, and he is a big fan of Monica. A conversation about her returning could happen in the future. I don't think Monica fits. Like, I also don't think that, we need her. In my opinion, I feel like this season has been really entertaining without her shenanigans. And I'm wondering, if she comes back, who is she going to align herself with? We see in the mid-season trailer that Whitney reaches out to her. But if Whitney is still cool with Angie, Whitney teaming up with Monica is going to make Angie back up off of Whitney. Maybe she might be cool with Mary, but if Mary truly cares about her friendship with Angie, I don't think that she would be cool with Monica like that. None of the other ladies like Meredith or Lisa or Heather will film with her. And I definitely don't think Bronwyn would get mixed up with her. Heck, I don't even think Brittany would want to film with her. So I don't see the point in bringing her back. I understand people thinking that Jen Shah should come back, but she also isn't needed, nor does she fit. She don't work for me anymore. She was needed for the first 2 seasons to put the show on the map, but girl, serve your time, because by the time she gets out, which I think is she's having to serve 6 years, and she went in, I think, this year, so she wouldn't be getting out till 2030. She's not needed. I'm sorry. It'd be different if she was in prison for a year or maybe even 2 years, but 6 years, she good. We good. So next, since I've already talked about the whole unfiltered panel with Toya, Portia, and Kiki, and now Lisa Barlow, I never talked about who Lisa Barlow said, or maybe I did. This video is pretty long. I'll just say it. Lisa Barlow says that Whitney needs to be more honest and be authentic. She's always, coming up with some type of story to accuse somebody of something. She's never really being truthful. And I have to agree. So next, let's talk about Bronwyn. So Bronwyn had to get in her shady bag because we see Andy going to hug the girls. So he hugs Cynthia and he sidesteps Heather and goes to Phaedra and hugs Portia. And you can tell that Heather is kind of you don't want to hug me, but a lot of people were he hugged Heather already. You know what I mean? But it was cringe. So Bronwyn pretty much said this: wait, did I just see a hello, absolutely not, hello moment? So it always comes back around. You do people dirty, you get done dirty back. So next is this situation with Mary Cosby's fan page and Jared Osmond. Now, if you watch my SLC reviews, I sometimes reference them in the spicy corner because they claim to have, you know, the background tea, the exclusive tea. But I always say that these are pretty much rumors with no regard because they're not definitive. But sometimes some of the things that they have said have been true. So I like to go on the page. Well, someone posted the back and forth that Mary Crosby's fan page and Jared were having because they posted this alleged tea. So this is what they posted the other day. It says, SLCT, allegedly at an upcoming dinner hosted by Meredith, Bronwyn brings up that Mary and Jared Osmond are sexting. Word gets back to Mary and she confronts Bronwyn about the lies she's spreading, and I don't know if they will be shown or cut out. The two are fine now. So Jared Osmond responded by saying, go ahead and show the DMs I provided you. Give them a clear view of my relationship with Mary. Mary is a good woman, a true friend. Bronwyn, a train wreck, a complete train wreck. So then somebody commented underneath his post by saying Bronwyn is a train wreck while your girlfriend, wife, ex, whatever is screaming for attention on TV. And Jared responds to that person by saying that's the beauty of life. You don't get to control somebody else's response or what they'll do on national television. Brittany is a good woman. I have no judgment for her. Go ahead and cast all the stones you want. It really doesn't matter. So then another person co-tweeted him saying the snobbishness of a true Mormon. And he said, there's something really off about you. I think I figured it out. You are a tragic little bitch. I said, okay, Jared. So then Bronwyn entered the chat. So a user by the name of Bravo Crave commented to this post, and I don't know if they added Bronwyn or if Bronwyn is like a follower of them and they saw she saw her name when she was on Twitter scrolling, and they said, oh, the tea is scalding. Bronwyn is so messy. LOL. Glad they are good now. So then Bronwyn responded by saying, please don't tag me in this type of nonsensical lies. So Bronwyn is saying they lying. Like, that didn't happen. She didn't do that. Don't play in my face. You know, and that's why I say you got to take the things you say with a grain of salt, especially from fan pages, because not everything they get is true or factual. It's just something we look at for the drama. Okay. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. And as always, remember to be bravely authentic. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And definitely share your thoughts with me on all the things that I have talked to you about in this video. And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.